Welcome back. In this video, we're going to go over in-house sign payments or collecting payments using in-house sign. I'm currently in the Inhouz Cloud console. To get into the in-house sign module, all I need to do is click on in-house sign in my menu. So for this, we're going to be using a template. I'm going to go into my test proposal template really quickly. So I'm going to jump into my template settings and just go into the settings tab. Here I'm going to toggle on collect payments. In my payments configuration, I'm just going to put a name here, and I'm just going to say test payment e-signature payment. Gonna pick a payout accounts. So if you want to know about payments and how to configure payments pages, we do have a video series on in-house payments, which goes over all of these in detail. But to cut a long story short, in-house sign integrates with in-house payments to collect payments. So for payment methods, we're just going to say we want a card payment. It's going to be a one-time payment. We're not going to use an in-house sign product. We're just going to use the product widgets to just put in the name. Guess I'm just going to say chemical purchase. This is as random as it gets. I'm going to say this is $10,000. Okay. And I don't want the user to be able to adjust the amount. So I want to collect first name, last name, and phone number, company name. And that's that. We're going to leave the design as is. All right, so we're done configuring payments. I'm just going to save this really quickly. So of course, you might be thinking, what if, I want to collect payments, but this is part of an automation workflow. Do I have to come in here and configure payments manually? The answer is no. You're using an automation. You can automate, your payments info. So basically, if you're using an automation, you get to fill out all of these fields using the automation function, so it doesn't have to be a static workflow. Okay, so I'm going to close this out. So I've basically added payments to my in-house sign template. So let's go ahead and create a document. So we're going to create a document. We're going to call this test proposal XX9. I'm going to use a template. I'm going to select my test proposal template. I'm going to switch to the development environment because I do not want to spend $10,000 on this demo. Switch to the recipients. I'm going to select myself, go into security, toggle that off, and send. So it's going to go ahead and generate our app. I'm going to switch to the development environment. As you can see, it's sent. I just received an email. I'm going to drag this in, and then I am going to click on View Document. Okay. So as you can see, it's a draft document because this is a non-production document. I'm going to go ahead and adopt and sign. This document requires an attachment, so I'm just going to go ahead and upload a random attachment. Then I'm going to go ahead and submit my document. Okay. So now that there's a submission, the system is going to analyze to see if everyone has submitted a document. Now, if everyone has submitted, then it's going to check to see what else is there to do, right? So now it's basically seen that there is a payment requirement for this document. So it's going to go ahead and send a message that says, hey, please review and pay. And here's our document. So we're going to click on View Payments page. And here it takes us to that payment page. As you can see, it's a test mode because this is the test environment. Because we were doing it in non-prod, so it's in test mode. I'm going to go ahead and autofill this. Put here company name. So all this is random. I actually do not live in this address. Here we're going to put 4242 425. Okay. There is something missing. Think a phone number. All right, perfect. So the phone number is here. We're going to click on pay. And just like that, payment is complete. And as the person who just paid, I received a message that just says, hey, I have paid successfully. And now if I wanted to get my receipts, I could also just click on View Payment Page, put in my email, and then get my receipt. But we're not going to do that here. So if I go into my Inhouz Cloud console, I'm just going to pull this out of View and just switch over to the Payments module. Switch to the development environment. Pull that back into View. Okay. You can see, let's see. Let me pull this back out. And the only reason why I keep pulling it back out of View is because I actually use this account for my payments, and I do not want to have my information be out there like that. So I can see my payment here for $10,000. So I'm just in my Inhouz payments module, and I can go ahead and just view that payment. And as you can see, it was paid $10,000, no tax. I can view the receipt. I can print this out and send it to my recipient if I wanted to, or just keep it for my records, although these records are always going to be here. As you can see, this is a test environment because our document was not in the production environment. So this is just a test payment. It's not real. If I went to go into, let's say, Inhouz Sign, switch over to the development environment to see that document. If I view it, I can see that it's now complete because it's been signed and paid. And if I look at my, if I just zoom in real quick and just look at my certificate of completions, the last action in the audit was payments paid. All right. So that's it for this video. We learned how to add payments to a template or a document, send that document. We saw the workflow of how a signer signs and then gets a message that navigates them to the payment link where they can fill up and pay. And this happens after everyone who is a signer is done signing their documents. We jumped into the Inhouz payments to see what a payment looks like. And before I go, I'm just going to leave you with a little bit of a bonus content. I'm going to switch into functions. Now, this is something that we are going to talk or walk through when we get to document automation video series, but I'm just going to hint at it here. I'm just going to go into a random function. I'm not going to save these changes. I'm just going to look for document, and I'm going to just say create an in-house sign document. Okay, let's scroll down. So like I said before, if you wanted to collect payments dynamically, if you wanted to generate documents dynamically, right, you can configure those payments details. So if I toggle this on to collect payments, I can basically configure the entire thing, the page name, description, the payments type, the payout accounts, currency payment methods. You could practically configure every single thing, just like how we did using the user interface. This can be done in an automated fashion as well, like I said earlier. And we're going to go through this when we get to the document automation video series. All right, that's it for this video. See you in the next one.